Hi, I'm Skip Bayless, and welcome to my Skip ad. See? Says so right there.
We're running out of time. Is it the red one or the blue one? Cut the wire. Look, if I get this equals 1, I make one mistake, this whole place. This whole. Wait a second. Skip Bayless.
Here we go.
The expert who said the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys and Patriots, book it.
What's happening here? Cowboys aren't even going to make the playoffs. They're overrated.
Kind of like this movie. Look, this year Dak tears it up till Romo comes back. Zeke wins Rookie of the Year behind the best line in football. Cowboys feast on the NFC least. They're going to the Super Bowl, and you're about to blow up. Horrible clock management.
Yeah.
Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Premieres Tuesday only on FS1.
Okay, so now we all know what happened with Hillary Clinton. In case you didn't, this is the way they were reporting people questioning her health. Now, she hasn't taken a press conference in over 200 and some days. Talking to your pool reporters on the back of your plane doesn't count as far as I'm concerned. Having Alan Greenspan's wife ask you a question about how your weekend was.
How was your weekend?
Is not a press conference. So this is how they were reporting it, right? So they were saying, questions about Hillary Clinton's health are absurd. That's Chris Cillizza. And then he goes through this thing about, her doctor says she's okay and blah, blah, blah. And they're not absurd. The questions about a candidate's health, especially when she hasn't released all her, especially when she's admitted to having concussion a few years ago. She's 68 years old. She had a blood clot in her brain that was super serious. That's why. So this was September 6th. Chris Cillizza did this, and then on September 11th, she did this. So now she left. She said she got overheated. Right. So she was at the 9/11 memorial, and she said she got overheated. Now, if first of all, it was in the high in New York on September 11th was in the low 80s, a high. So she's leaving before it got to the peak, and I heard it was in the high 70s when she left. And if you notice, if she's so hot, how come she's still wearing her coat? Right? When you take it off, she's got a shirt on underneath that. Why wouldn't you take that off? Okay, so there she is standing there. So let's watch. And so there she is. Now, this is the first view everyone got. And this woman's definitely, she's got her. She's holding her. She obviously, there she goes. There she goes. This guy grabs her, and now her legs just lock, and she goes flying. And nobody's like acting like it's a big deal. Like, yeah, we've been here, been here before, done this, seen this, done that. Here's from an other angle. So this actually, you could get better and look at it. Watch what she does here. So if you watch, her left knee just buckles completely. She boom, she's standing there. Watch her left, boom, buckled, boom again. And then that guy comes, and watch her shoe fly off. Her shoe flies off. So her leg. So a lot of people are saying this is more consistent with Parkinson's. A lot of the problems she's been having, people talk about when she does this a lot, and when she does the head bobs a lot. Did you know Bloomberg News counted how many head bobs she did during Bernie Sanders' speech? Did you know that? There was a couple of hundred. They were like, why would they even do that? Why would they even count? And a lot of people say, the doctors say that that's one of the signs that you have this uncontrollable kind of head nodding, that's common among Parkinson's. So the point is, if she has Parkinson's, so here's the problem. That they gave a bunch of different explanations. First of all, I'm going to play this for you. No, watch right here. See that thing? And you can hear it. And so there's lots of speculation. You see it, right? So there's a thing literally comes out of her pant leg. And there's lots of speculation that she's wearing a catheter because one other symptom is that she has a thing for her bladder, right? That it goes down her leg, and that's a metal thing, and it's on her leg, and other people have shown other pictures of you can see through her leg. So the problem is that they lie about it, right? They go, first she goes, she was overcome by heat, right? And then they go, no, she has pneumonia. She was diagnosed on Friday. She has pneumonia. So at like at 10:30 she was overheated. At noon she was fine. Then later in the day she had pneumonia.
It was only walking pneumonia. It's not a big deal.
So she has pneumonia, and then later on that night, then she's fine, and then they cancel her California trip. So here's what one of her aides said. She did not lose consciousness. She stumbled getting into the van, said Robbie Mook during an interview, and that's one of her spokespeople. Hey, we all saw that it wasn't a stumble. A stumble is if you trip. Your foot hit something you didn't see, you took a misstep, you didn't know there was a curve or something, or there was a divot in the... No, she didn't. Her legs weren't working, and it was obvious. Her legs weren't working. So here's this guy, Mook, repeatedly refused to answer whether he or other members of Clinton's staff knew that she had been diagnosed with pneumonia on Friday. He did say illness has been spreading in recent weeks in the campaign's Brooklyn headquarters. So he's saying, well, yeah, we've all been kind of getting this. Really? So then why, if she has pneumonia, are you letting her meet children? And she should be not out spreading it around. Because they go, oh, no, it's not that kind that's infectious. It's called aspirational pneumonia, which is common in Parkinson's. It's caused by your lack of muscle. So things from your drip down into your lungs, and that because your throat muscles aren't working properly, and you get a certain kind of pneumonia. In fact, I've read today that that's the leading cause of death of Parkinson's, is that type of pneumonia. So if she was diagnosed with, and people are saying now, wow, isn't that badass that she had pneumonia and she continued campaigning anyway? Well, if it is, why wouldn't you tell everybody she has pneumonia when she's got pneumonia and she's still going out there getting it done? Look at her, she's got pneumonia, she's still getting it done. So I think it is pneumonia that she has, but I think it's caused by something. Who knows, right? Now we can speculate because they're lying. So, in fact, my buddy Johnny Graz says, once again, folks, if a pneumonia patient with a history of brain injury collapses and is 68 years old, you go to the hospital. They didn't. They went to her daughter's apartment. Huh? She's literally collapsing. Her shoe got left. Huh? And if you... Why wouldn't you go to the hospital? Why would you lie and say she got overheated? Fallon fielded questions. This is from the Washington Post. Questions over Secret Service protocol, escorting Clinton away from the memorial, and said Clinton wanted to go to her daughter Chelsea's apartment when leaving the memorial instead of securing immediate medical attention. What?
And there's no handler in the world that is going to direct her to a medical facility?
You wouldn't go to...
Somebody who's running for the president of the United States?
That's not right. And it's supposedly Secret Service is supposed to have protocol, because Andrea Mitchell was interviewing this guy, and she says, is it up to her? Like when she passes out, when she can't walk, is it up to her where to go? She was telling everybody in earshot that she was perfectly fine, Fallon responded, noting that aides made attempts to contact her physician, who visited her later. So they didn't even there wasn't even a doctor weighing in on this decision. Without a doctor, they go, well, we're going to go to Chelsea's house. You wouldn't go right to a hospital? She's supposed to be the next president of the United States. He said Clinton contacted aides by phone while in the car, but they didn't allow reporters to follow them. They didn't allow any reporters to come along, nothing. So nobody knows what happened. And now we know they're making stuff up left and right. Why are you? And here's what David Axelrod, David Axelrod, big advisor to Barack Obama, he says antibiotics can take care of pneumonia. What's the cure for an unhealthy penchant for privacy that repeatedly creates unnecessary problems?
Wow.
That's pretty strong. That's not me saying it.
Wow, David.
That's not me. That's not Steve-O. That's not crazy progressives. So there you go. We broke it down. if they weren't, now we get to guess. Now people get to speculate because they've been lying.
So if Hillary Clinton is inclined to getting such poor health care treatment, evidently it's okay for America then to turn a blind eye when we're ill too. Is that it?
I'm telling you.
So they're not telling us what's wrong with her.
No. And also, David Schuster tweeted out that the DNC was having an emergency meeting to consider a replacement. So people are speculating Joe Biden. If they try to pull something like that, I just think it's a sure loser. And if they do anything except pick Bernie, it's a sure loser in the general. Even though people like Joe Biden and people are repulsed by Trump, if you screw over those people, you screwed them over once already in favor of a weaker candidate. So we'll see what happens. This story's go forward. I have some predictions. Maybe I'll make them later this week. Okay.
And now, more live coverage here